Next thing that I want to do is in category, I want to do some bulk operation. Like let's say I want to add 2 categories, add 5 categories, remove 2 categories and remove 5 categories. In this video, let me focus on adding 2 and 5 categories. If I go back to the index page and let me see where I have the button for add 2 and add 5, I have an ASP action, create multiple 2 and create multiple 5. So let me go to category controller here and create that action method at the end right here. The first one is create multiple 2. Right here I want to create 2 categories. So I can have a for loop here, integer I is equal to 1 and I can say I is less than equal to 2 I plus plus. So it will iterate 2 times. Both of them I want to say underscore db dot categories dot add, and in there I want to add new category. One thing that I need that is category name. This I want to use a random grid. So grid dot we have new grid dot toString, and that is the only property that we need to define when we are creating a category. As I have said before that at this point the category is not added. It will get added when we call the save changes method like that. After we save that, let me return and redirect back to the index action. Now this is great, but what we are doing is when we are creating one category, we are saving that. Next time we go in the loop, we add that to the DB context and we save that in the database. What I want to show you is if we cut the save changes from there and add it outside of the for loop, let me show you what happens. That looks good for create multiple 2. Let me do that for create multiple 5. And I believe that is the action name. Yep, that looks good. With that, let me run the application and I will also notice the output window. So we have the output window here. And let me switch back, or rather minimize this. Perfect. Go to category. We have 3 categories here. Let me clear everything in the debug window and click add 2 categories. We scroll down and you can see 2 categories were added here. Let me examine what happened in the debug window right here. If you examine here, we have the using statement with 2 values here, and that gets inserted in the name. Once everything is inserted, we have the select statement. That looks good. Let me go back and now try to add 5 category. When we tried adding 5, it only added 2 category. I forgot to update this. So let me restart once again. And let me go to category here and minimize this and open the output window, clear that. Let's try add 2 again. That is done. We will try add 5 now. When we are adding 5 here, you can see it is doing. You can see it is rolling everything in a single transaction. Previously, before .NET 5, what used to happen is if you had less than 4 records, then if you had multiple add statement, it used to insert them individually in the database, so it was multiple calls. But now even if it is 2 calls, it is merging them in values, and you can see it is doing the batch insert. So if you are working with the older version, that is a difference that you should remember. I also want to show you that EF Core has built-in method for bulk insert. For that, let me create a list of category here, and let me call that categories is equal to new. Rather than adding this to database, let me add that to the list right here. Then what we can do is underscore db dot categories dot. We have a method add range there, where we can pass all the categories. Let me modify that in both the places and see what happens this time. Perfect. Let me run the application again and I will open the output window. Let me pin that. Let me minimize this and open the category. Perfect. I will clear this, add 2, and perfect. You can see we have both of them in a single call. If we do add 5, we have all of them in a single call as compared to multiple calls that was happening before .NET 5. If you want to see how multiple calls will look like, I can show you that real quick as well. Let me revert back the create multiple 5 here, and the db.save changes. Let me add that inside the for loop. Let me run this and we will see 5 different transactions this time. We will go to category here and let me clear this. I will click add 5. This time you notice we will have multiple insert statements right here. We have the first one here, we have the second one, we scroll down, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. That is inefficient because here we are hitting database 5 times for insert and then once again to select all the category. So EF Core already has the optimization that is built in when you are inserting more than one entries. The only thing that you should remember is to save the changes outside of the for loop. With that configured, let's work on deleting multiple entries.